Link anyway. So
All right. We are live on Monday, the 15th of December, 10 days until Christmas. Just a few
far out, man.
days until the end of the year, right?
I
So,
know. And it's doing my head in, man. Fucking crypto.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. But then the problem
yeah,
is if we drop the ball at some point, you cannot drop the ball. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
and it's tough. People are commenting on your hair, man. Very, very good hair day
yeah,
for
I
you, man.
know. I know. Let's have them turn their webcam on and then let's see how funny they are.
Uh, that's interesting. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have nothing to say. I've had enough. I'm just about,
that's how.
just like,
Listen, and that's why I started entering trade because whenever I feel that I had enough, you're getting very close to
mm,
a massive shift. You know what I mean? But I think it could be more pain, to be honest. You know what I mean? The way that market looks, is painful. So
mm,
obviously there is a lot of liquidity that is being gathered. We'll go through what I see at the moment, but I'm not seeing anything, to be honest. And I'm
mm,
actually thinking to, close the trades that we open. We are a little bit on the water on those. And by the way, if you guys watch the videos on Friday, and make sure that you didn't risk much. You know what I mean? Like those were trades. Those these are times that if you do trade, or if we aim to catch those bottoms, we know we risk a little bit, like 1%, even less than that of your account, or even what I mean, like just to
mm.
stay in the game. Uh, because if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. That's basically what it is. And but if you don't do it, if you don't press the trigger, you're never gonna press the trigger. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it's tough, especially when markets are bad, to press the trigger. So
Mhm.
the best way that I could do it for myself is actually press the fucking trigger, but don't risk too much. You know what I mean? Because as the market strengthens, then you will be able to risk more and risk more. And then at least if you're right, which I wasn't, by the way, or maybe I still am on that, maybe, who knows,
Mm,
we'll go through the trades. Um, then that's money management. You know what I mean? So you don't go the same amount of money on every single trade unless you are a really, really good trader, and especially the bigger, really, really good traders, like the risk. The risk is basically up to how the market behaves. You know what I mean? And the market is behaving pretty bad, but that doesn't stop me to trade. You know what I mean?
mm.
Because if you stop trading, then you're never gonna press that button, that buy button. So so far keep the risk very, very small to any trading in you know let's go through the chat. Okay, so that was just the
All
beginning of
right,
it.
all right. I
So
got a quick question for you then
quick question.
before we start, right? When it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and sounds like a duck, right? So,
Maybe it's a
so
duck wannabe, man. Maybe.
let's say that we were to open a Bitcoin chart on
Yeah,
a 12-month, a 12-month time scale,
yeah.
right? And we were to look at each of the 4 years, right? We clearly see a 4 year cycle that repeats. Okay. We clearly fucking see it. It's there. It's there. Right. And the end of year close that we're looking to achieve would be around 93. So we're just kind of hovering around it. We're
Mm-hmm.
88, we're 92, we're 88,
Mm-hmm.
92, right? So,
Mm.
Scott would forbid us saying anything like the 4 year cycle. So I go
I was,
back to mine. If it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, and things like a duck, right? So when can we look at the market and say, well, fucking hell, Maurizio, this 4 year cycle is repeated every year, and look at it, it's exactly the same this year. It's repeating all over again. When can we take like a massive clue from that?
I'm gonna be completely fucking honest. I have no fucking clue, and let me tell you why. And let me. The
Mm,
some think about this. Some pattern works until it doesn't.
mm,
All right, and trading is always like that. Let's
mhm,
take a trend for instance. You have an average. Let's say most price breaks that average, comes back down. You get a drop. You get a pullback.
mm,
Buy, pure beautiful trading. Buy every time on a trend sort of strategy towards near an average, right? Until it doesn't, until it breaks trend, until things doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? So the thing with the 4 year cycle is it's not enough data for you to have a statistical approach to it. How many times have happened? 4 times, 3 times. And if
mm,
it happens again, it's going to be this the fourth time, right? So for me, it's not a strong edge to say that's going to be it. Now, when you pair that with price action, maybe you have something else right there. But the
mm,
price action need to support what you see on whatever edge you carry. You
mm,
know what I mean? Like either trend, breakouts, whatever. The price action needs to be there. If it's not there, it's not there. As simple as that.
mm,
And that's the toughest thing for us as traders to visualize what is there and what is not there. You just mentioned,
mm,
talk
mm.
like a duck, the
Well,
eats like a
Bitcoin
dog or
seems to
whatever,
be
right?
doing everything it can to follow this cycle, you know. It's not going above the 93, it's not going
Yeah, but
really
it hasn't been able to. So the problem with that cycle is obviously when, like you just mentioned, when. So
mm,
let's go through the charts. Let's see what I'm saying because obviously that perhaps will give us a better idea.
mm.
All right. Do you guys see my screen? Yeah.
We do, yeah.
All right. So this is Bitcoin. All right. Okay. When was last call? Last call was here. That was our last call. Okay. We
That's
were
right.
we were there. Where we are now, right? That's why it's very important to draw whatever time of support resistance or whatever you think people are looking at to see if you have the same sort of understanding of the market, right? So what people are willing to buy for an asset and what people are not willing to buy for an asset. So we saw that level here, 90K was a big level, but we were talking about that range here, 94. So we are on a range, right? I did talk on Friday. This was my trade on Friday, right? Because I started to open some positions. Why? Because I saw, a little bit of interest on buying with the possibility that over the weekend with low liquidity, we had that break to the upside, right? We're still bearish, right? Clearly, we're still very, very like short-term bearish, right? On the daily, right? So I'm still looking that if we do have a pullback, 100K could be another short opportunity for bears. After the 100K, which is basically around this area, right here. And why
Mhm.
100K? Like 100K is a confluence of different factors, in my opinion. One is the psychological level of 100K, huge level to break. 100K is 100K, man. It's just a psychological level. Number two, that was the in here on the October liquidity marking wipeout. That's the level that we got around, give or take, right? 102. So it's a massive amount of liquidity there, or a massive deciding factor for the bulls or the bears, right? Who is going to win? So that was my plan, right? That's still my plan. If we do get a pullback, I think 100K will be the line of descent to either open in new shorts or shorts will get exhausted and then obviously will open up that gap to go above the 100K, towards,
Mm.
and the next gap will be 120s, whatever. right? Is that going to be a new all-time highs and stuff like that? So that's kind of my view on it. So let's talk about the 4-year cycle. So let's talk about this from the weekly. Okay, so that was the daily, right? Very, very important. We daily. Now we go a little bit big. I should have started with the weekly, by the way. I started top down. It's better off. So we'll do the same thing that we do every single week, guys. So let's talk about weekly. What do you see here? Do you see a bullish trend? Do you see a bearish trend? What do you see here?
Okay, well, I'm seeing what I believe is a pretty tight bear channel, and we're just getting some relief from that with a pullback. We are printing some higher lows, but we weekly closed below the yearly level. So that's what I'm seeing at the moment.
What would you do with, okay, so do you see that? So 3 questions. Are you bull, bear, or range? And how would you place a position if you actually do this? Like
Well,
if you actually trade?
I'm range at this point. I would want to see a weekly close either, above the top of the range box there, plus a
Yep.
retest to feel a bit more bullish. So let's say that we get that next week, and then the week after, we come to the end of the year, we finish the end of the year 94, 95, 96, whatever, maybe even a little bit higher. And yeah, I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there. But it's
I
like
know. I was
it
going to. All right. All right. All
it's
that.
because this
And
like
this is
everything
very,
is focused around this range. So there's no
I know.
clear direction.
All right. So exactly. So first things first, it's very tough, man. I get caught up on that as well, thinking what it will look like. Don't think what it will look like. Just try to figure out in terms of what is looking at right now. And right now, I do agree with Todd. I think Todd, Todd mentioned, and Wayne, I think, they mentioned that we are in a range bound environment. We are. I think that's the behavior that we're seeing.
Mm.
The interesting thing is what will be the bottom of the range if we are in a range. So we know what the top looks like right now for that range,
Hmm.
but we do not know what the bottom of the range will look like yet, right? So the bottom of the range could be the 83,
Hmm.
right? Could be 80 or could be 74. Would you agree or you disagree with me on
No,
on on those three?
I'd agree with those levels.
All right. Which one do you think is going to be?
I'm going to take well, I don't know, but
Beautiful. And that's the answer that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? We have no
Uh,
fucking clue.
it's hard to
Uh,
get to an answer of I don't know because you always want to try it and then fuck, I don't
I
know.
know, man, and that's trading. Trading is being okay with the no, and trading is being okay with just seeing the reaction of price at certain levels to see if the buyers are there to buy. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Think about it as an auction. Have you ever guys been in an auction?
No, I haven't done the options trade, and I know
Do, do,
Caroline and
do,
Aaron, they both enjoy doing that.
Right. Or if auctions are the same, especially if you're emotionally involved with the item that you want to purchase, right? You think it's gonna get out of your hands, and that's why you bid more. You know what I mean? Like bid because you want it. I don't care, fucking want it. No, this is my
Auction.
thing.
I thought you said option, but I'm with you.
Ah,
Auction. Yeah, yeah,
auction,
yeah,
auction. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Excuse my accent. Yeah. So an auction, right? That's the same behavior. So
Mm.
essentially, would you know what I mean? Like when price gets there, is that going to have enough juice to buy? All right. So let's go through what I was seeing on Friday. So obviously this week breaking down this area here with the year level, right, is not good. It's not good.
Mm. I agree.
We breaking structure. So heading towards the bearishness side of things, to be honest. Until where? Probably the most like liquidity grabbing opportunity, I think, could be this one, could be
Mhm.
80. Why 80? And I'm just making assumptions here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why 80? Because if we do have liquidity grabbing about 80, it could do something like this. I've been talking about this pattern a while back. Uh, and what this pattern looks like is starting to look the same. Wouldn't be. Let me just close the door 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this pattern now is starting to look a little bit more like this one. Have a look at this. Clear the lows, another week high, another week low, another week high. This one here, clear all these lows, and then it pushed up, right? Now we're seeing something very similar, right? So what I'm expecting is if I do get that pattern, I'll be trading it. I could be wrong, but I'll be trading it. However, I want to see what's the behavior around that if we do get it. So I'm just planning to what potentials could look like, right? So my long bias will look like from the weekly, and I'm talking about weekly, guys. So obviously, and this is why it gets that's why it gets to my head if you mix weekly with daily or daily, and if you do short time trading, because you might think it's there, but from the weekly, it could take 2 or 3 weeks for this pattern to develop, right? So we do something like this, we clear the lows, and then market comes back up. Now, is this going to give us enough juice to break this level now? We'll see at this level here, but at least you do have a good trade. You do get position in case we do something like this, right? I'm not saying that we will, but now if we do this, now we still have 100K to be a massive, massive, massive level there, right? And look at 100K and why 100K. If you draw the line here at 100K exact, you would take all right, just randomly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this is the weekly. If we start from this week, from November 2024, a lot of resistance there, broke resistance, became a support, broke support. So see that 100K, in my view, 102, give or take, that range, between 100 and 102. Let's make box, make it better. Probably around here, that range there. Massive, yeah. Whenever something happens around that area, something interesting happens. So now that we're becoming a little bit bearish, so probably will be, I'm pretty sure there will be some shorts piling up at 100K. So I'm not that, I'm not that bullish. So what is that translates into our trading or positioning on things like that? I'm still, until we break that 100K and we become really, really bullish, then I will not be risking a lot. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my risk factor because there's still a lot of resistance that happen here. So will this lines up with your 4-year cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. So give me a definition of why, like according to the 4-year cycle, when do you think things will happen? Or what are you hearing? So Travis says Jan to Feb should kick off. All right, that's one thing.
So I'm really looking at the 31st of December, like that end of year close and the creation of the new 12-month candle, of which every time we've had this candle, we've the candle has opened pretty much at the close of the previous year's candle. And then that's acted as the opening price. And then we would go into whatever leg of bear market that we're going to have, which is probably not going to be anything like previous bear markets due to the way that Bitcoin has gone up, hasn't been oversold. There's not huge flush out to happen.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. That could be. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely a good insight. So if I look at this from the yearly perspective, uh it will close as a doji candle, kind of give or take in decision throughout the
Mm.
year, basically, right? This year, the 2024 essentially was a very bullish year. Uh, now the next candle, how is it going to open? But from the really macro perspective, yeah, the lowest of the year was actually 74. That's
Mm.
why that level there is very interesting, man.
Mm.
Very interesting. Can we do something like this? Like what happened in 2022, that we cleared those lows and then next year open up, but there was technically 2 years that Bitcoin was only up, right? If you look from
Mm.
the yearly perspective. So very important levels, very important. You know what I mean? Like so that's why there is a there's a good probability. Let's bring this back to the weekly. Let's do the monthly. Let's do the monthly as well. Let's do the monthly here. All right, so this is the monthly. So obviously, if we were talking about this behavior, now we're still sort of closing as a higher low, in terms of trend, but it's getting a little bit more exhausted. You know what I mean? So from the monthly perspective, I could envision a little bit of a drawdown and bang. So let's say if you trade only the monthly, which I know some people that they do, you could do something like this. And how many months that would look like? You know what I mean?
Jesus. Yeah.
I know, like 2 or 3 months, basically, right? So that
Mm.
that could happen as well. So it's a tough one. You know what I mean? It's a tough one in terms of the 4 year cycle and all sort of stuff. The 4 year cycle, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the internet about we're still on the 4 year cycle, but it's been delayed. So if it is being delayed, that's not a fucking year cycle.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
you could frame anything to match your pattern. You could say a 4 year cycle has become early. Is that a 4 year cycle? You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So obviously that's something that I'm just trying to always analyze. Like think about a 4 year cycle that is delayed. It's not a 4 year
It's a
cycle.
5 year cycle.
You know what I mean? It's interesting, man. It's interesting. So yeah, it is one of those things. So obviously keep it in the back of your head if you really like it. But at the end of the day, price action could be the best possible way for us to figure that out,
Mm.
right? So that's kind of where I'm at, man. That's my whole fucking Bitcoin thesis at the moment, which is not thesis. So I'm from the weekly perspective, right, and more towards the downside. Now
Hmm.
let's have a look. That's my down bias, right? Which I think that could happen. And we were talking about the 50-50 chance last week. Now I'm inclining a little bit more towards the lower area, like at least this area here, the 70, the 80. But I'm really thinking that liquidity is going to be grabbed at 70 something. Then that's the pain that a lot of people might not expect. 70, like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin drops, think about it. If Bitcoin drops another 15%, what do you think alts are going to do?
Shit the bed.
You fucking shit the bed, man. And the market looks fucking horrible. Like if we let's have a look at
The Bitcoin dominance.
let's
That's where the magic's at.
let's go with others, right? And others looks pretty bad, right? And we still
Mhm.
have this gap open here. That I'm still thinking, that uh, this behavior, what happened on October the 10th, is not a easy thing to grasp. I know
Mm.
a lot of market makers that went under. You know what I mean? So that's the
Mm.
liquidity, especially on alts, are not there yet. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
probably that could be. And I'm not saying I'm just rambling here. It's not a thesis that I will have enough data to actually hit, but it could be a possibility, right? So all this versus Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin is actually stronger than anything else. So that's why whatever Bitcoin decides to do, I think everything will follow. So yeah, if Bitcoin decides to keep going down, alts are going to suffer a lot. Okay, a lot. So let's go through the trades that I took on Friday. So
Mm.
I'm very close to close them, to be honest. So this is Say. So Say, why did I go in Say? I think you guys watched the video on Friday. It looked pretty good, man. Like it looked. Let me just show you what I was looking at, and that's why I decided to take the risk. That's why I say very risky, right? But let me show you why. Uh, Say, all right. Look at this fucking open interest. I'm still liking it, to be honest. Look at this open interest. Okay.
Wow. I mean, that is very aggressive.
It's very aggressive and the price was holding. Obviously, we had this drop over the weekend because Bitcoin shit the bed.
Hmm.
But technically the price has it's been holding. Open interest has been reducing, right?
Mm.
But
Isn't
it's
that
not
is that longs that are getting liquidated when we see the red?
exactly. Yes and yes. And that's probably the liquidity that they're grabbing. You know what I mean? So this caught my
Hmm.
eye, right? This definitely caught my eye. Very difficult to know if this opening there is was short opening or long opening. That was my thing on Friday, right?
Mm.
You didn't know. The fact that
No.
the price was holding, right, was gave me a really good idea. And I know the longs now because on this drop, we have a lot of drops, right, here that match this pattern. So essentially, I'm still thinking that that one could go well. I'll probably leave it. You know what I mean? Like, and probably leave it. I have my stop loss, and if it hits the stop loss, that's fine. But that was the main reasoning why, man. Is yes, it's attractive. If Bitcoin wouldn't, because look at what Bitcoin did over the weekend, man. In one, so that's why I think it's very liquid market at the moment in Bitcoin. This is a 30-minute candle. Let me bring this back on 15 minutes, right? Look, in two 15-minute candles, this thing just broke pretty much the whole range.
Mm.
This is illiquidity coming through, right? And but what that means is there is not a lot of buyers willing to buy at these levels. Okay, which is that's why it's giving me the shits. To wait for the opportunity. That's probably I should have waited more because I'm still not seeing a lot of strength, to be honest. Will that strength come back? We try. This is why I went on the trade, guys, on Friday, and you know, before this thing, I started seeing a liquidity coming in. Ideally, you want to see a little bit more strength. Probably, I got ahead of myself, but if Bitcoin would have done the upside, I'm pretty sure say would have been like a 20-30% trade, right?
Mm.
Do I regret it? No, because that's the risk you take, right? So yeah, that's basically that trade. Uh, and we took Sui. So Sui still like it. So this is the trade that we took on Sui, right? And we took it on Friday. So on Sui, did a little small leverage, but I did buy spot at this level, right? So with spot, obviously, it's a different mindset. I don't have any stop losses or anything like that because I'm feeling that we are getting very, very close to a bottom. And Sui reacted pretty well. It's been reacting really well. Can this shit the bed? Yes. So I think I'm gonna close my leverage on this one. It's not much that I'm risking, but I'm gonna keep the spot. And if it drops, I'm gonna add more on Sui. So Sui is still a really good candidate. That's it, man. That's essentially what we've done. But so far, I wouldn't do anything. I would not get position on anything else. I wouldn't open any trades. I'm actually thinking on shorting this thing, man, to be honest. Like if we do get a push up, I think that's the kind of behavior that we're seeing. But yeah, it's a liquidity grabbing game at the moment, and that's what a range behavior is. Think about it from short perspective. This looks very attractive for short, so I'll go short. Then market bounce up, clears this high. Fuck, Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. Then it goes low, and that's what a range is. Just to, you know what I mean? It's very difficult to trade, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, guys. Unfortunately, there's nothing much in terms of price action, but so far, if I look at the majors in terms of CVD, let me just even though I'm seeing a little bit of buying power here, if I look at Ethereum, same thing, same behavior. The interesting thing is about Ethereum. Ethereum is basically holding its ground at 3K. That could be an interesting play for a range. We are at the bottom of the range. If we are in a range, that's kind of something that it could look very attractive. I like Ethereum better than Bitcoin, to be honest. So I think short-time trading could be very profitable, but then you will need to drop it down to 1 hour, 30 minutes or even 4 hours, and then make the decisions there, get something out of the market and then get out. But big positions, I think we're not there yet, so that's kind of what I do have here, and I don't have anything, there's nothing. Yeah.
So Maurizio has got a nice surprise for everybody.
Oh yeah, all right.
But before we get to that surprise, just to keep things on tenterhooks, let's have a look at Nia.
Oh yeah, you should tell me that one. Let's have a look. Yeah.
I remember when Nia was about $19. And now I'm shorting it to take it back to $1.20.
So did you take this short? Yes, yeah, you
Yes,
mentioned
I
it.
did, yeah.
Honestly, if it's not a bad trade, very awkward to short at these levels. You know what I mean? But if Bitcoin decides to shit itself, Nia is gonna shit itself even more. So I think it's not a bad trade at all. I'm biased, on the short side. So definitely there's no structure, break a structure to the downside. There is a higher chance that we do have continuation to the downside. This thing looks fucking horrible, man. All alts look horrible, man. You know what I mean? So what I'm aiming, let me just add that into my list just to keep track of it. So what I'm aiming, right? Screenshot or what up? Hold on. All right. What I'm aiming is to do a list of possible strong fundamental coins that I could buy at the dip at that bottom. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm aiming. So I keep adding stuff on this list, but these are my favorites so far, right? But essentially, I like it. If you have a look at the smaller time frames, right? This is 6 hours. So by the way, what's your target and what's your stop? Do you have a stop loss or anything like that at all in place?
Is it all right if I share the screen? Then I'll show you my chart.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so here we go. So this is just move these things everywhere. This is the weekly chart, but I took my entry on the daily. So obviously we've had this channel going on for a long time now. This was this is January, so this is almost a year long. And then we've had this these interactions either side of the channel. Normally we get a bounce off, we come back up, we get a nice bounce off, we come back up. This time we didn't go all the way down, but we had the bounce up, and then we had that huge kind of creep. Well, that was the October. No, that was the middle of September.
No, that was October.
That was the October candle.
Yeah,
right?
That was October. The October wipeout. Yeah.
And then we touch that and we bounce back up again. And then this time, as Scott would say, it zigged when it should have zagged.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that break of structure on the weekly that got me really excited about this. And my target is around about 120. I think I got it in. Yeah, around this sort of area here. So from about
Yeah.
160 to about 120 is the trade that I took. I took that on the uh I mean this is the first price action of its kind for this downside deviation within a period of a year. Plus, we've got, ridiculously low volatility as well. We don't know which way it is going to break,
Yeah, I
and
was gonna say, yeah,
it could go against me. But
yeah.
but yeah, I kind of like that trade.
Ah, it
But we'll
looks good
see.
though from the bearish perspective, right? The only thing to be aware is obviously everything is so sensible right now. Bitcoin decides to go
Yeah.
up, and think about as well, bullish reactions of people wanted to buy at the moment could bounce quite quickly and then drop down. You know what I mean? That's the
Mm.
kind of behavior that we have. So that's the only thing to be aware of, that you, especially because you're taking trades from the weekly perspective.
Hmm.
In 1 week, 5 times it could go up, down, up, down, up, down, up,
Mm.
down, up, down. So you could get really, you know, stressed if
Mm.
you know what I mean, from that perspective. If you especially if you look at your trade from that perspective. So have that in mind. You know what I mean, in terms of weekly trades. So yeah.
Yeah, because I'm banking on that the volatility is leaving Bitcoin. So my part of my thing is that, you know, there there won't be a major price spike in Bitcoin this week, which I know that I can't predict, but that's what I'm basing
There you go.
this on, you know?
So this actually gets recorded. This is going to be your first journal, right, of trading, to see how fucking accurate will
Yeah,
you be, right? How
yeah. I
and
opened up
that's
my journal. Dear dickhead. Here are the reasons I am making up to justify this trade.
man. Yeah, but I think in times like this, trade ranges, perhaps, just probably I'm going to take it very, very slow in terms of making sure that we have enough structure on the daily to take more
Mm.
trades. But if we do take trades, please don't risk too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can always add, yeah, someone actually mentioned on the chat, we can always add as the trend actually breaks, but we
Mhm.
are not in a trading environment. We are actually bearish, right? If you
Mhm.
take shorts can happen quick and bounce, quick and bounce. So take some profits, if you do take some shorts,
Mm.
or if we do
Mm.
take some shorts, right? But I haven't pushed my shorts yet in this, 100x, because a lot of people don't know how to, and if we start shorting the market at all, that's kind of the thing that I want you to know, that why I don't share a lot of shorts. But right now, if you know how to short the market, I think it could be really good opportunities. Which that leads me to, all right. So,
Surprise time. Uncle
all right,
Santa
surprise time.
Claus Maurizio
I
is
think I
here.
think you guys are going to enjoy this. It's not me, it's my cousin. You guys all know that, I do have a cousin that he's really good with airdrops,
Mm.
and he does find really good opportunities for airdrops and things. I did share some of the airdrops that he shared a while back. He hasn't done many, but he's very excited about this one. And he actually partnered. So complete transparency here. He actually partnered with the exchange. It's an exchange, a DeFi exchange like Hyper, like Asta, and right now there is a race to gather liquidity on all these exchanges. Okay, so he partnered up with the exchange, and he does have a Spanish community. People that actually does airdrops in Spanish and things like that. And he sent me the link, so I say, let me share this for
Yeah,
anyone that
let's
wants
go.
to trade, right? And it's you do get perks, so anyone that uses his link will get automatically an airdrop. You don't have to do qualifying. You don't have to do anything. You whitelisted for the airdrop, right? So that's number one. Number two, you're gonna be a VIP one. What that means is you get like beneficial on fees. right? And number two, the way that airdrops work, and I have shared this before with different exchanges, other exchanges, which I've been doing, but now I'm going to concentrate only on creating volume, is creating volume. So let's say you have $500 and you start trading. Doesn't matter if you make money, doesn't matter if you lose money, you're creating volume, right? And that's what exchanges will do. You pay fees, right? Unfortunately, you're gonna have winner trades, gonna have loser trades, but at the end of the day, you create volume. So if you come every single day, I do 2 trades, long and short, whatever, you fucking close your eyes and trade it, right? That's how you create volume. Okay. If you do have a strategy and a small trade strategy, bounce off a level and just make a little trade, you don't aim to actually make 100x in here or with this. It's just trading like 5 minutes trade, close it, and then that's your volume. And you do that on a repeated basis, then you do create volume. So $1,000 or $500 that you actually replicate over and over and over and over and over again will give you volume. That volume gets translated into points. And because you're part of, if you join with this link, you do get a boost on points. So it's like you're trading 3 times the volume that you actually trade. And at the end of the whole sort of campaign or whatever, right, that's going to get translated into a coin that is called Edge or Maru. Maru is kind of like their coin. And same thing as hype. You do get hypes. You can actually get the airdrop. You can sell it at the end of the or you can keep it, right? And it's exactly the same thing. The exchange is pretty good. It has good liquidity. Let me just share the link here. Wait me 1 second. But yeah, you usually don't get this type of boosts and stuff like that. The exchange is actually backed up by big players. Kraken is involved. There's a lot of big players that actually are involved. So, but bear in mind that you could have, like, my cousin is really good with airdrops, but he's not being right 100 times, right? Like he's, let's say out of 10 airdrops that he shared, 6 are very successful, 4 pretty shitty. You basically lost time because that's basically what you lose, and the fees. And if you have lost trades, so it's that risk. Is that one going to be like a very successful one, or is that going to be a shit one? No one knows, but if you don't do it, you're never gonna get them anyway. So if you do know how to trade and you want to trade on this one, liquidity is actually pretty good. And yeah, I will add it into the spreadsheet. Remember that I did on a spreadsheet. So this is the link. There's the chat. I'll put it in the chat. And there you go. That's the chat. But also, let me just share my screen. Remember that a while back, we did this spreadsheet, the potential Q4 2026 airdrops. So I've been tracking that because, I don't know if you guys got the Hyperliquid airdrop NAD, and I got pretty good, healthy airdrop. And that's been a massive saver for me. So this is all the airdrops that I was following. But now I'm going to focus on this one, which is the one that we do have a lot of. Just highlight that one, but that doesn't mean that there's these other ones. I don't have any links or any specifics on these ones in terms of boosting points and stuff like that. Why do I share this one? Because I think the boosting points, we could get really good airdrops. You know what I mean? In terms of really, he's very close with the founders on this, and he's a big player on this space. So I know he wouldn't share stuff that he wouldn't know, but there's always the risk of not getting anything. Okay, so yeah, that's basically what I have for you. So yeah, that's it. And by the way, this change, just use that link, and this is the exchange. Very, very similar as Hyperliquid. It doesn't have a lot of tokens yet, but they add in. But the ones that are here, they're very liquid to trade. So you can trade any of these ones, and they're gonna have vaults. They're gonna have a lot of different things as well. So they're gonna have AI trading as well. So it's a lot of interesting things that this exchange will launch. So Can this be another fucking exchange that doesn't do anything and airdrop is shit? Yes. But, a lot of people thought the same thing about Hype, and a lot of people regret not doing the fucking airdrop on Hype, and a lot of
Mm.
people. I know a lot of people that didn't that they regret that. I know Scott got 6 figures more than that, man. You know what I mean? And that's a pretty healthy airdrops if you trade these accounts. So yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Todd, you can do it on Arbitrum, and I think USDT, USDC, very similar to Hype. You can connect your MetaMask. Don't put much money in here, or even though if you do it through MetaMask, just make sure that you understand the risks of doing it. So yeah. So obviously, we're not gonna go in depth on this. This is just for people that wants that or understand what they're doing with trading and things like that, and it could get really, really interesting. If you want me to do a little bit more info, let me know, and perhaps next week we can. And I'll explain the other platforms as well. You know what I mean? This is not just because it's my cousin. Uh, we can, but they're all the same, man. Like Vest, Ostium, which is the one that I was doing. Sorry, Extended was the one that I was doing. Same thing, man. But I didn't have any perks on trading this one. So yeah, that's
Nice.
it.
Really, really nice, man.
Judy, no, they don't have their own coin because that's part of it. So obviously, if you trade early, they're going to launch their own coin on Q1, and that's where you get the airdrop. And their coin is called Edge or something, and that's yeah.
Mm. Would you go back
Uh,
to the exchange screen again, Maurizio,
sure.
on Edge? So what is that Maru that's been
All right.
advertised next to the mall?
Yeah. So this is kind of like the government's token,
Hmm.
and you're going to get points, right? You're going to get points when you're trading, right?
Hmm.
And that's going to get translated into Maru, right? And you can actually claim your points for Maru, and that's how you're actually going to exchange your airdrops, kind of deal. Okay, so
Right,
that's yes.
right.
So at the end of the day, they only looking for liquidity, and that's what all these exchanges were for: liquidity, right? People to trade on their users trade, you know what I mean? And if you do get, you know, small trades, that generates liquidity. Every time that you open a trade and close a trade, you create a liquidity. So yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm just clicking on buttons, looking at the FAQ,
Yeah.
transaction criteria.
So yeah, look, the 1 minute is like liquidity wise is not bad. On this so the trading volume, this is the trading volume. You can actually see that on some of Solana it's 212 million, so it's not bad. So yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking pretty okay. As you can see, it's pretty much the same thing as Hyperliquid, man. They're all the same fucking interface. They're all the same thing. They're
Hmm.
only looking for how many uses they can actually accomplish. And yeah, so might as well. I'm still doing airdrops. I told you guys several times, I was doing this one, the extended. Let me open it up. But I think I'm going to transfer everything to the other one. This is the one that I was doing before,
Hmm.
and I might get some points. You can do both if you really want to. You know what I mean? But then obviously you don't have any extra perks. You just go by the volume and stuff like that. But you do get the same sort of things with extended. So this is the one that I was actually farming. And that's called farming, by the way. Farming, the airdrop or whatever. Why you call farming? Because you basically farm, put more trades, more volume and stuff, and then at the end of the day, you do get tokens. You get a retribution of your work, basically. That's what airdrop looks like. So yeah, you can do both. Take some money out of here, put it there, using the same money, transfer money around, trade here, trade there. It's a full-time job kind of in a way. My cousin has
Mm.
done amazing amount of money just by doing that. You know what I mean? At the beginning of his
career, he used to do that. That's the only thing that he used to do, like farm airdrops like this. And he he's yeah, he's very, very wealthy just by doing airdrops. Yeah.
Very nice. And if people want more information about this, then really they should look on Twitter.
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously, we will not support it. 100x was not, it's more trading, but obviously, I always share what I'm doing, you know what I mean, in terms of we will not support it as a company or anything like that. But I've been doing airdrops for a while, and I think some people have had good airdrops. You know, the INA was good airdrops as well a while back, right? And I do share some information, but then yeah, we don't support it as much. But if you do have specific questions, you can just perhaps next week just ask me, and yeah, I'll be happy to answer whatever.
Nice. So a couple of days and YF10K will officially begin
I know.
trading. How many people that are on the call today are in YF10 and going to be joining us on Thursday morning or my Thursday morning? It'll be the day before from there. All right, great. And has everybody set themselves up with InSilico and
Wow, a lot of people are joining. All right, that'll be fun.
going?
I'll definitely see you guys on Thursday. Well, yeah, my Thursday, your Wednesday.
Mm, mm,
But
mm.
it's been great. That strategy's been really great, man. Like, yeah, really, really good. Like, very stable in a way. That's kind of another thing. So, yeah, great. I will definitely see you there then. Yep.
So, Darren, the only calls that we would offer you to set up for YF10K would be a paid call with a coach. There's full instructions as to how to get set up that we're within the group. So, Todd asks a very good question here. He says, and I can answer this. He says, we don't need in silico if we already have a Hyperliquid account, right? So Todd, you haven't read the you haven't read the instructions that we've given you. So if you try and do a limit order on Hyperliquid, it's just an utter fucking ball ache, right? You try and manually chase those limit orders around. Why would you want to do a limit order? Because it's 3 times cheaper than a market order. What does InSilico Terminal do for you? It allows you to do chase limits. Okay.
Right.
So the answer to your question, Todd, is depends on what fees you want to pay and how much effort you want to put in to actually get in the trades on. Because what is preventing a lot of people from taking action is that they have to do something and it's a ball ache, you know? You have to set up a new Hyperliquid. We put it in the instructions. If you're already with Hyperliquid, forget it. Forget it. Completely new setup all the way through. Okay. I did read it, but wasn't sure. Okay, I'll let you off this time, Todd.
He's just fucking up with you, man. Don't let him.
It's
Don't
all
let
right.
him.
As you can imagine, I get the same question 10,000. So I put in the start, this is the reason you use it. Ian, what's the reason that we use this? Fuck, I don't know.
By the way, let me also put the spreadsheet of the airdrops opportunities in the chat as well for you guys to keep track of those if you want to trade other ones as well. So let me just put it there. So as a reminder, and yeah, keep that there. And
Because the great thing with the YF10K is that you don't have to do any of this nonsense that me and Maurizio have just sat here for the last hour and talked about. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? Well, I don't know. With the YF10K, it's awesome because you get the list, you pick the five, you put your shorts on, you come back a little bit later. That's it. Done. Really,
mm,
really easy. Where it will go wrong for people is when they think about it too much.
I know, I know.
They want to press too many buttons and they want to modify day one, it'll be Maurizio, can I modify it this way? Maurizio, can I modify it this way? And it's like,
And
yeah,
my
you
and
can
my
do
question,
anything
you
you
could do
want,
anything you want, man.
anything
Is
you
that
like.
going to be profitable? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, like that's it.
Yeah.
At the
I
end of the
did
day,
it and I
guys,
lost
yeah.
all my money. It didn't work. Oh.
At the end of the day, the call is just to keep us on our toes and don't
Yeah.
not fuck it up. Because trust me, I'm I'm not saying that I'm experienced, but I do have. I've been trading the markets for more than 10 years.
Every
Well,
day.
experience is in terms of emotions is a different thing. You will see you place your
Mm,
trades and
mm.
you're gonna do stuff that you don't supposed to, emotionally speaking. That's pretty much what we're there for you, because the system is very self-explanatory, man. And if you have the emotional stamina, but that doesn't mean we'll do fun stuff as well in the future. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's just that emotional, you know,
Yeah.
tell you don't fuck it up. That's kind of it is. Like that's.
This is what makes it such a great system. I know there's a lot of people in this group that are not beginners, but they just know a good system when they get to it. But this is what makes it good for beginners because, there is no system in the world that's 100% win rate. You're not just going to win every day, every day, every day, every day. And trades will go against you. And sometimes you'll feel like that you're just picking the outliers and that life's not fair. And that's part of the trading process. It's why FinRev we can switch so quickly because it doesn't have that emotional kind of bias dragging it down. Just to address Donna's question, the way that Maurizio gets the signals means that Bybit, Binance, and Hyperliquid are the exchanges that this will work on. If you were to do
Mhm.
it on another exchange, well, Maurizio's signals are not gathered for another exchange, you see. So that's the reason why it's these three exchanges: Binance, Bybit, and
Mm.
and Hyperliquid. And make sure that you get your hardware wallet set up. It's like
Yeah, make sure you
this is the
get
thing.
protected. We have all this stuff, right? Make sure you get
Yeah,
protected, understand the DeFi, the all sort of stuff. That doesn't
there is
and
Brad.
and and,
Yeah,
and Todd, if that's why the Insilico terminal, and this is just knowledge for free for the ones that are not there. Okay, Insilico is a great thing. Let's say that you have Hyperliquid and you have Binance or Bybit, right? And let's say you want to trade both accounts. Why you want to trade both accounts? It's not a bad idea to split your funds, right? And number two, if you only want to trade Bybit or Binance, it's not a bad idea to trade Hyperliquid to actually get points as well. Hyperliquid keeps doing airdrops in the future, right? So Insilico will allow you to actually do that. Like very simple, a few clicks, bam, 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 and trade both accounts at the same time. Easy, very simple, man. Like that's what Insilico is all about. Okay, so yeah.
nice, 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 nice. And Coach Paul Clark's going to be with us on Thursday as well, isn't he?
No, I haven't seen for a while, man. Yeah,
I haven't
that's
seen
good.
him in a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
he might be different now. He might have no hair or anything.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna be fun, man. Yeah, that's definitely it's gonna be fun. So yeah.
nice.
All right. So unfortunately, not much price action to trade from. So let's see what happens this week, man. I have
All
nothing
right.
else for you guys.
Lovely. See everybody in the YF10.
All right,
Catch you
guys.
later.
Bye
Ta-da.
bye. See you next week.